Hi, President Trump, although I have no illusion that President Trump himself is going to be watching this. But I'll take any opportunity to magnify the conversation that I think that we need to be having. A politics of fear, even laced with hatred, has gained ascendance in our country and obviously in the world. And we all talk about how only light can drive out darkness, as Dr. King said, and we all talk about how only love can drive out fear. But it's one thing to say this, it's another thing to make love a political force, the way some people have made fear and even hatred a political force. We need to articulate what that means, and we need to act on it. We need to have a vision, we need to have a dream of what's possible, and we also need to have conviction and commitment, and in some way strategy to make that happen. What does it mean to have a politics of love? What does it mean to have a politics of conscience? Well, it means a lot of things. First of all, it means putting the welfare of our citizens, particularly our children, before the needs, the so-called needs or perceived needs of the marketplace, of huge multinational corporations and banks. That's what it means. It means to put the needs of our citizens first, it means to put the welfare of the planet first, and I think it also means to address and to ameliorate in any way possible the unnecessary suffering that goes on in this planet. You know, it's absolutely an act of idolatry and even whoredom, the way we make money. Money's so important as opposed to sometimes, or at the expense of the welfare of people. And it's not like we want to see money stop circulating. There's nothing holy about that. We all want an abundant economy, but we want a fair economy. We want a just economy. And what could be better for long-term good of your economy than to educate your children, take care of your children, so that these kids can get in the game. So that these kids, you know, this whole thing like with the college loans, so many of these young people would love to become capitalists. They would love to become people who are participating in the economy if they only had that $2,500 in discretionary spending so they could start their own website or their own business. But we do so much these days to just systematically squeeze the material resources of this country out of the hands of the broad stretch of American citizens and into the hands of a very few people. And we know that this is happening. And there was going to be a cry of despair this year. There was going to be a cry of despair in this last presidential election. There was going to be a populist revolution. There was either going to be an authoritarian one or there was going to be a progressive one, and we know what happened. Well, that was then, and this is now. So President Trump, just in case you are watching, we are going to do this. We are going to work so hard, and we are going to express ourselves, and we are going to articulate, and we are going to support candidates in the 2018 elections, which are not going to be taking food out of the mouths of our children, and are not going to be dismantling environmental protection laws, and are not going to be doing things that actually make it harder for the average American rather than easier for the average American to take care of the medical bills that they have for themselves and their families, to really make it. You talk about jobs, but you know what, President Trump, if you are in any way listening to this, you know better. So the idea that you're going to, make it, for the very, very wealthiest among us, and then they'll just throw out chump change in the form of jobs to a relatively few people. I want more than jobs. I want careers. And in order to have careers and abundant careers, I want to see more American citizens really able to get in the game. I want more children who are raised with the educational resources and the cultural resources, and all Americans to have the opportunities to create wealth themselves, not just to have jobs working practically as serfs for, but you and your friends. No, we're going to make a change in this country. And with all due respect, we're going to do it non-violently. We're going to do it legally. But I'm going to tell you something, President Trump, we are going to do it. We're going to annoy you, sir, if at all possible, in 2018 and then absolutely in 2020, because many of us believe with all our hearts that you do not respect the basic tenets of American democracy, and you do not respect at the deepest level what we believe in our souls that this country is supposed to be about. You have that right, but we have the right too, to real citizenship. And many of us realize that it was our disengagement from the process that allowed all this to happen. That was then and this is now. We were asleep, we're awake now. And in a really bizarre way, sir, you have actually helped awaken us. And when we are awake, you have no idea what we can do, but you are going to see it. You're going to see it in 2018. You're going to see it in 2020. See you then.